One more calm before the storm. They're very good at this. Welcome back and thank you for joining me for another reaction video. I appreciate you spending your time with me. Now, today we're taking a look at Dream State with a song called White Lies. There was a few requests for Dream State on previous reactions and I thought let's give them a go. Don't know much about them and very, very keen to see what they've got for us. So Dream State and White Lies, let's see what you've got. So here's something really cool for all you up-and-coming bands out there who are looking for fresh ways to start your songs. That was a really good one. It's not new, but it was done well. I'll explain why. So when the song starts, you have that kind of fading of the volume, but you also have the fading in of what the band of EQ that they're allowing you to hear, and that kind of shifts higher, higher, and higher, and you're getting more of the top end as it's coming in. But here's the kicker. When the full presence of the band kicks in, try and reserve as much of your bass guitar and your kick drum to only come in at that point, because that's when you get the power, and that's what they did really, really well there. So have a listen again, but it's kind of like holding your cards back a little bit. If you bring it in too early, it seems a bit weak, and it feels like it wasn't mastered as well as it could have been. I like that lead piece. It's like it's difficult to do live to sustain the volume that you need from just those tapping pieces. I got a confession. Okay. I've got a secret on the tip of my tongue and it's bleeding loud. You know I got my reasons. This suffocating feeling and the voice in my head is bleeding out. So she I'm going to say something that I'm sure she would probably hate me saying, and she's somewhat reminiscent of Lacey Sturm from Flyleaf, but completely different in a lot of ways as well. I like what she does. She's got nice rasp to her voice, and when she does those screaming pieces, she's got like a really consistent distortion to her screams. It doesn't feel like it builds in too slow or dips off, but she's putting a lot of emotion into it, and it's almost like winding her vocal cords up and tightening them to give you that emotional effect, right? And that's because that's probably kind of a signature of hers. Very cool, and I like it. So I'm going to go back just a little. I've got a secret on the tip of my tongue and it's bleeding loud. You know I got my reasons. This suffocating feeling and the voice in my head is bleeding out. And I don't think that I'll ever really. A lot of lights and shade in this, which is good because it helps her vocal stand out a low. So awesome chorus. I won't go back because they are bound to play more choruses, and I'll just point it out again then. But basically when they came in, they had that much more urgent, faster piece. Now choruses in these kind of bands are usually where they slow it down and they drag the melody out. It's kind of this wall of guitars, and it's this much half-tempoed kind of drumming, because that's where they want you to focus just on the melody. I like what they did there because they intensified it, which was like, oh, that's nice. And then they broke it down in the second part of the chorus where her vocals kind of followed and mimicked that, which is really cool. I've had a few comments saying I don't really focus on the vocals, not the vocals, but the lyrics enough. And so I'm trying to make an effort with that. I know, I see this is called White Lies. She's mentioning being an addict or addiction, and saying lines like, I don't care if it hurts me, I care if it hurts you. So this is obviously about a struggle with addiction. Just a note, the reason I don't focus on lyrics too much is because it's very difficult for me, at least, to try and get the music and the lyric side right. and obviously I want to kind of experience this all as a first listen, so I'll pick up what I can, but I thought that was quite nice. It kind of makes sense now why it's such an emotional performance, because it's an emotional topic. I like it. Got the guitar pan to the left. This is produced really well. So they've got the distorted guitar. So what they're doing a lot is they're pulling the bass and the drums out, and they're creating this light and shade between the power of the song, right? And that's because sometimes when she goes for a more emotional piece, or maybe a more delicate piece, they want that to be just held back a little and reserved, and the minute she hits the scream, it all comes in together. So there's clearly a pattern they're following, but they're doing it very, very well. There's something really cool there. If you've got headphones on, it's going to be much easier to hear. If you don't, when you get a gap, put some headphones in and re-listen to the song. But they've got that kind of rhythm strumming pattern coming out of the left headphone. And then they've got the lead kind of wind-up piece, which is where you let a note ring out to the point where it's creating feedback, and you slowly turn the volume up on your guitar, and that's coming out the right. So what you're getting is this kind of imbalance between what feels comfortable, and that's nice because it's once again just something nice for the listener to indulge in a piece, to be honest, that is quite simple but effective. Snare drum sitting right in the middle of that mix. It's a variation of that lead piece from the beginning, so it's nice and fresh. This is the intense Foster piece that she's going into now. They're going into, apologies to the whole band. And you'll hear that snare drum kind of offbeat, a little syncopated, but he's kind of hitting it quite regular. And then you'll hear, as the chorus evolves, how he goes into kind of a half-time or a more regular 4/4 of that. I like them. There you go. This is very cool. I love the production. I don't know who did this, but bravo. Whenever bands go into this kind of spoken, almost like spoken word kind of poetry bits in their songs, it's quite a common thing that they do. But she's got these little whispers that are happening right in the background, and there's no melody or structure to them. It's just these whispers, and they somehow line up, and sometimes they don't. And then she's doing kind of the spoken piece over it, and that's really nice because it is completely different to anything we've heard in the first 2.5 minutes, and I like that. I've got myself lost again. It's a slight distortion on her voice as well. Damn. It's almost like slide guitar, it's what it sounds like, but I don't think it is. One more calm before the storm. They're very good at this. Yeah. Big fan of this. Hey, come on now. Ah, man, fire. fire, 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 fire. I'm a sucker for these kind of melodies. I'm a sucker for these kind of bands and songwriting. I think they're very good. I think she's the hero, and she should be. She's got a very, very, very unique voice. She's got a good scream on her. She's got a nice, clean vocal too as well. I'm just super impressed by it. I like it a lot. It's kind of a lot more radio friendly than a lot of the stuff that I've done on the channel, but I actually really enjoy these because I think that this should have become the new radio norm. A little bit more edge to it, a little bit more personality. And from a band perspective, from going to a festival, that's, I definitely make sure I go and see these guys and catch their slot. So that was awesome. I like Dream State. I will be listening to more Dream State. I also like that sometimes it's just such a small thing, but with lyrics, when the song title is in the chorus, it's quite like common, right? So they take the key phrase or they take the keywords and they put in the chorus, or they use something that is completely distant and never appears in the lyrics. Here, what she did is she brought it in kind of one of those outros, and I say one of those outros because it felt like there were two, but she brought in the whole concepts of white lies there. I don't know if she did earlier, but she did there, and I thought that was a really nice touch. It's kind of like throwing back to the meaning of the song, and now that kind of halfway through, I got, okay, I know what she's singing about. So the emotional side and the anguish in her voice made more sense, and it didn't feel like it was just there for effect. So I like that a lot. And I also kind of like the video, to be honest with you. It's just simple, playing live. Again, from a technicality point of view, from a musicianship, this is not a commentary on the musicians because this is the first thing I've heard from them, and I'm sure they have incredible ability. That was a very, very simple song. But sometimes the simple songs are the ones that really blow you away because of how much restraint goes into writing a simple song, particularly when you can play above that kind of standard. So I liked that. It was a brilliant hook. It was an amazing chorus, and I will be listening to more Dream State. So thank you for spending time with me. If you like this, big thumbs up, then I'll know you want more. As always, you guys are just the best. So be safe, be nice to each other, and have a good day.